Hi guys, and thanks for tuning in. So for today, I thought I'd do another sort of trap making video, and the trap that I'm going to go for today, rather than a snare type trap, it's going to be a deadfall trap. These are really handy because one, they're relatively simple to make, and two, you don't need any cordage or anything. All you need is one length of reasonable thickness, but not too thick, straight bit of wood. And being in a woodland, that's easy enough to come by. So the piece of wood I've chosen is this piece of hazel. Now, hazel, you know, grows very straight. And I'm just bucking this up first, and I'll be able to get everything out of this long one section. So all I need to do is just cut down here, down by the base. And the good thing about hazel is that, I mean, this has traditionally been used as a coppice wood, so by me cutting this off, all it'll do is encourage more growth from the base. Like that. So, out of this piece of hazel, I need 3 pieces. A peg, a support, and a trigger stick. Now, I'm going to use the lower half for the peg, so that's going to essentially bear the weight and support in the ground, and that wants to go down, you know, a good way, and then we'll go from there. So this is going to be the top. If I want this trigger stick to go, you know, about 8 inches into the ground, I want about another 3 inches of clearance, and then that, so I could then go to cut off about here. Ah, mozzies are out. Sounds like we're going to get planes. So just going to roughly shape the bottom of this into a spike. There. So then, like I said, we want, that's going in to about that depth. We want about another 3 inches. So that's going to put us about there. But you also then got to account for the angle when that comes down. So this will give you a guide. If you want it about that sort of angle. So actually what I could do is give myself more room and then there's a knot there I want to avoid. I could come down to about there. And that marks the horizontal for where your trigger stick wants to go. So all I'm doing is I'm just putting a mark for now where I want that to be. Just there. So, trigger stick. So for this I'm going to use the thinner end of this. And we don't want it to be too long. Now, that length from the support stick, and then we want to give ourselves a bit on the other edge. By putting that under your leg like that, it just gives you a bit of extra support. So, I'll pull that bit off there where it's split. Just take these notches off. Just makes it a bit easier for handling. You know you're not going to spike yourself. So because I've taken that end off there, that's going to be now the back. So about there. So there's a knot there where I can just put a mark in. Because I want to gauge roughly how wide to make my cut. Like that. I don't want to go too far down. I want to go far off enough. And it wants to be pretty equal as well. About halfway through would be good. Yeah. Okay, so I've made a cut there, and another cut there, and the material in between is what I'm going to remove. So starting from one cut, just push with a thumb back to the other one, and then just swap round. It's lovely sitting here and listening to all the birds singing away. And of course, to us it sounds lovely, but to the birds, you know, it's a territorial thing, and they're shouting to other birds, stay away, this is my area, trying to sound as big and as aggressive as possible. So that's the sort of thing you're after. Doesn't have to be too neat, just has to work. Oh, midges. So I want to do this exactly the same thing on this side. So just put a mark in there, and then, like I say, just do the same. Probably not going to go as deep with this one. There. Just take a little bit off the side. Like that. That's going to be too tight, because you know, I can pull down on that. It does need to be looser than that. So just keep taking bits of material off the side, just a little bit at a time. There we go, that's a bit more loose. And what I'll do is I'll just take the bit off, both of those. There we go, it's nice and loose that now, but it still locks in place. So going back to the trigger stick, and you could do this with a knife. You could just, you know, press down like that. Just put a good straight cut in. And then work back to it. Or you could just do the same with this. If you're going to do it across your knee, you want to be extremely careful. Doesn't have to be much. Again, we're just going to do that and just watch it when you come back, because if you go too far into that top piece of wood you'll just take it clean off. So little cuts, just nice and gentle. And then what I want to do is cut in to the wood at a bit of an angle, so we get a lip. Like that. You just see there's a bit of a lip underneath there. I'll just have to crease that a little bit. Oh, the midges are really out in force. I've heard that because it's been another mild winter up in Scotland, they're predicting a midge-tastic year, which is great for the midges, but not for us, because there's going to be billions and, well, probably trillions of them. So we're nearly done. So that's the trigger stick pretty much finished. Now, depending on how or what bait you're going to use, you know, it would depend on what you're going to do with this. But if really, you know, you want to put something on there, you know, like if you're going for birds, then fruit's going to be a good one, like berries, that sort of thing, or even, you know, grubs. But you'd want to be able to attach them pretty securely. Now you could just put a hook on and really hook them on, but you're not likely to, you know, get it on that securely. What you can do is flatten it like that, get your knife, just carefully put a split in there and just open that wood up a little bit. And then what that'll allow you to do, if you're putting grubs in or worms, you can tightly secure them in there, and that'll hold them in. And you could still even split a bit off at the bottom like that and put a point on there, and you can just do a few, and then that gives you a few different varying places where you could put worms or grubs, or, you know, you could take a few of those out, put a spike on it, or whatever. But that's the trigger stick done. Now, to determine the length of this section, we're going to need to half set this up. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Right, Right, so yeah, I've just lit a very small fire with some birch bark and a few birch twigs just to keep the flies away because they're starting to get really annoying. Anyway, so yes, down to this. So main support or peg, trigger stick, and then this wants to come just out by roughly where the trigger stick is, so about there I'm reckoning. I'm going to allow for a bit of play. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to make two ends a little bit flatter. And then I also want to, where this is going to be, might end up having to cut some off this. So that's basically going to, that sits in there, that'll be on there. And it's that downward pressure that holds everything in place, like that. But as soon as that's knocked out, support is gone. Like that, it's going to want neatening up. That way a bit. And what I might do as well with the saw is just carefully extend that lip in. And then extend that point in there. This is sort of when you're fine tuning things. So that sits in there like that. And then the weight, whatever your weight you want to lean on there, sits on the top. Okay, so I've got my weight, and so it's time to set this up. So trigger stick, that gets set there. Our support stick goes there, and it's probably an idea at this point to hold those in place, because this is going to be the hardest part, and it's going to be setting your weight to a point where you're going to find the best centre of gravity for it. And there we have it. This is a really sensitive trap, and it needs to be. A strong breeze will set this off, and but you could aid game to come down this way. You'd set this on the game trail, or near a game trail at least, especially for small mammals. You could put the sticks either side, make obstacles, so you're forcing or funneling them toward your bait. And then once, say, a squirrel comes along and decides, ooh, there's a nice bit of free lunch there, bang, it's gone. The weight of that coming down on its head or across its back is going to kill it instantly, and that's what you're after. You don't want it to suffer really in any sense. Ideally you'd have several of these traps set up along a game trail or a trapping trail that you would set up, and it would be an idea to sort of like have a few of these, the figure 4 dead trap, that's what this is, along with some snares if you've got cordage suitable for making snares. You can make spring snares, which I have done before. Check that video out at the end of this one, I'll put a link at the end. Or you could just do like an old-fashioned snare on the ground, like what you do for rabbits or hares. They're really simple to do. Best used with wire though. But yes, this was a 4-figure deadfall trap, and you can easily see why it's called a 4-figure, because once you've got these bits set in place, it makes the figure number 4, hence why it's called a 4-figure deadfall trap. So, hope you've learnt something, hope you've enjoyed it. It'd be good to hear from you if you've actually used these out and about and you've been successful. Let me know. Let me know the environment that you've used it in. So whether it be sort of like woodland like this in Northern Europe, even maybe more in a slight arid area, desert or jungle. And if you've been successful with it, let me know what you've managed to capture with it as well. So that'd be interesting. So yeah, I'm getting eaten alive by mozzies and midges because we're having a real midge fest of a spring so far. They're really coming out now, and I think it's going to be a really bad year for them because we've had a fairly mild winter. So yeah, like I say, hope you've learned something, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.